What's up, everybody? Welcome to Log On Weekly. I am here with XUser8X, Matthew Flemmer.
What's up?
You say something?
I said, what's up?
Oh, I thought I was wrong for something.
Just real quiet.
And at Rent-A-Cop, Ron.
Hello.
And then I'm Andrew. So
At what?
At what?
at AF Drums with two S's because somebody took AF Drums and they have like 3 followers and they have that name, so I'm just gonna stop.
You can't buy it?
What does AF stand for them though?
My name.
You think so?
Whatever you want it to be. Whatever makes you follow me.
I come up with a couple of things, but I won't say them right now.
Amity. I don't know. Okay. So we just came out with a podcast this past Thursday. Our first ever Log On Battle Royale podcast where we gave our top 10 favorite games of all time. And we have a Twitter poll up at Podcast Log On Twitter where you can vote for who you thought had the best top 10 games. So go follow us on Twitter at Podcast Log On, or you can listen to that podcast via iTunes or Google Music.
Anything. You can listen to it with anything.
Yep.
If you're listening, well, it says if you're listening to this, then you know, but it's on any platform you want it to be on, basically.
Any of the majors.
Any of the majors and some of the not majors. It's even on YouTube and our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/podcast log on. So go check out that poll. Check out our new Battle Royale podcast and tweet at us if there's something you want us to talk about on this show or a random topic you want us to talk about on Battle Royale, because that is what that is for.
That's right. Quick update. Out of the top 10 games list, I'm in last place. Ivy's in third. Andrew, you're in second, and Elise is in first place right now.
Yep.
Side note, I called that.
Did you?
Before it happened.
Nice.
Look at it right now. We are at 42% Elise, 21% Ivy, 29% me. Matthew coming in at a whopping 8%.
And I voted for myself, so it might just be me.
And that's
a possibility.
24 votes total. And there's 3 days and 18 hours left. So,
That's
That's good. That means I had 2 votes.
Yeah. By the time you're listening to this, you'll probably have about solid 3 days to go on there and vote still.
This is true.
So go do that. All right, we are going to go into some dank news, boys.
Dank.
I don't know about that.
It's been slow as far as news goes, but
it's the calm before the storm.
It is. It's almost probably
To
from
be
here,
expected.
Yeah, probably from here on out, every week there'll be some sort of E3 rumor that we'll talk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty close. What, we're like 5 out now? 5 weeks?
Something of that nature.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's pretty close.
And we're talking, we'll probably do a battle royale before E3 with some predictions and stuff, so it'll be good.
Oh yeah, we'll do a 7-hour long podcast about it. No, I'm just kidding.
Jeez.
24-hour live.
Yeah.
All right, so biggest news I kind of ran with this week was the Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer and release date, releasing on October 26th on all platforms. Some content will come to PlayStation 4 first.
Yes. Yeah.
I never played any of the Red Dead games, and I didn't play Red Dead Redemption 1, and I probably won't play Red Dead Redemption 2 just because there's just too many games. But maybe, I don't know. I watched the trailer today, and it looked fine, I guess. But I know a lot of people that love Red Dead, so they'll be happy.
Somehow it's none of us.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, never mind.
I'm super looking forward to it. I'm a sucker for any games that you can play through co-op, and that one you can. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
didn't know it was co-op.
I didn't know either.
Yeah. No, well, it may not be. I don't know if the story part's going to be co-op or not, but there's a lot of co-op stuff you can do. As same with Grand Theft Auto, with all the heists and all those kind of things you can do.
Okay.
There's a lot of that kind of stuff.
Do you think they're going to do that?
Something to that effect. I can't see.
You think Red Dead is going to kind of turn into a little bit of GTA?
Absolutely. I think there's too much money to be had not to. I think.
It'll be GTA, but with cowboy hats and horses and boots, right? Everything else is the same.
I mean,
guns, explosives.
Yeah, it's just extremely different world. You know, the whole setting is way different. And obviously, the storyline for that game is more captivating to me than any of the Grand Theft Auto ones ever could be, just because they're just so over the top and, you know, whatever, strippers and drugs, and it's just not the kind of stuff I normally get into, whereas a Western storyline makes more sense for something.
So I'm reading an article via GamesRadar.com, and shocker, Red Dead Redemption 2 is rumored to have a Battle Royale mode.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, GTA does, so.
You can do anything in GTA.
Absolutely.
It's not hard.
No, I've never been a GTA fan, but I've considered getting this one multiple times because of what you just said. Because there's so much that you can do. Like
you can literally do it. You can hold your own lobbies and fool around with your buddies, only your buddies. No one else can get in. You can do whatever you want in that game.
Yeah, and they just keep coming out with stuff. I mean, the main,
it's all free.
The main core of GTA is not really up my alley, but I love racing games. They have some really good racing modes on there. I mean, there's all kind of crazy stuff, and it doesn't seem really like that content's going to stop anytime soon.
It reminds me a little from the Halo days.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, you could find whatever you wanted on Forge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. True.
Okay, here's something about the Red Dead co-op. This is Games Radar as well. Whether Red Dead 2 online multiplayer is seamlessly woven into the single-player campaign remains to be seen. Perhaps Red Dead 2's multiplayer will be its own separate entity like GTA Online. So there you go.
Yeah,
I would. Yeah,
it's at least going to be that. If they they make it where you can do the campaign multiplayer, that's over the top for me. I'm all in it when it comes to that. So
yeah. And side note, GTA may be coming on the Switch, so that could be a thing.
I would be surprised if it doesn't at some point.
Yeah.
How old is that game now?
Oh, it makes so much money though.
It has officially been recognized as the single biggest piece of entertainment in the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Its earnings is above any other piece, and this includes all the Marvel stuff and all the Disney stuff and all. Like, GTA 5 as its own entity is the single biggest piece of entertainment,
and still kicking.
And there's no end in sight.
No,
until GTA 6.
Every month they come out with the what do you call the earnings that come out, or the sales numbers that come out?
Yeah, just like sales earnings and stuff.
MSRP? No, not MSRP. Whatever the numbers are, yeah. They come out with those every month, and it's like number 9, GTA is still there.
Oh, top 10s, bestseller of the month?
Yeah.
Yeah, and GTA I don't think has ever left it, pretty much.
It's still around there.
For freaking like 5 years, whatever, however old it's 5 years or something like that.
You just have wheelbarrows of cash coming in. They dump out of
It's amazing.
Their yard every day.
People are like, when are they going to come out with GTA 6 when GTA 5 stops making money?
Yeah, when are they going to come out with GTA 6? The answer, why?
Why come out with GTA 6?
Why?
Why?
They're one of the few studios that aren't pressured to make another game. They're like, we have all the time in the world to make this game.
Yeah.
We come out with the GTA game, it doesn't matter when the next one comes out.
Right, and I think they're onto something too. I think there's going to be a lot more games that are going to be in that vein of, we'll have this game that's going to come out, and then we're just going to support it forever. And so it's not necessarily a GTA 6 that's out, but heck, as much content is there, it'd be just as much content as if you would have had a new game instead.
So if they do that same thing with Red Dead, which I don't see why they wouldn't, it would be cool. I think that's the way to go, because everyone is so afraid of the single-player games, right? You know, it came out that, you know, people aren't going to make single-player games anymore because you don't make money off them. Well, you do, but not the kind of money multiplayer games make. But if you do something like GTA, that's a single-player game. And then it already has this whole world built. Well, why not make a copy of that world and just make it multiplayer? And there's no story to it. It's do what you want. Or maybe you can add whatever to it. So there's not really a story, but there's just do whatever you want to do. And so it works well for GTA. I don't see why it wouldn't work for Red Dead.
I agree. And I think for the most part, single-player stories are kind of becoming an indie thing more than a AAA thing.
Yeah, but if you have a AAA support it like that, I mean, because GTA, single-player game.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But it's how old it is and how many people are still playing it, and it's made how much money.
And it doesn't sell for its single-playerness.
Nope.
Not at all. So, craziness.
Well, I watched the trailer for Red Dead 2 today, and I don't know how much of Red Dead 1's in it. I can't speak to that, but...
you see the main character in the new trailer. Gotcha. You see the main character of Red Dead 1 in the new trailer.
Gotcha. But...
So, it's confirmed.
Who knows? Who knows? I mean, if it's good enough... I don't know. I can't say whether I'll play it or not, because I didn't play the first one, but it didn't look bad to me. It just looked like, I don't know... I mean, if it comes
might not be up your alley.
Yeah, I mean, if it comes out October 26th. It's right in the heat of everything else that's going to come out.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I know multiple people that don't really get into Grand Theft Auto, but would say that Red Dead Redemption is one of their favorite games ever. So, and there's really more similarities there than you would think, but it's just
pretty much the same game. It's just different times,
and it's a real different feel. I think just because of the themes, it just feels different.
It's 100 years apart. That's the difference.
Yeah. Yep. So it'd be interesting. I will say the trailer does make it look like they are putting some focus on a single player mode that is not necessarily there in Grand Theft Auto. We'll see if that's the case or not, but the trailer kind of seems like they might be doing that.
Well, speaking of games that support for a long time, Overwatch had a new update on May
it's a big
3rd.
Update.
Yep.
Patch, if you will. So I'm just going to scroll down the highlights here, and we can just talk about it as it goes. New escort map.
I thought you were saying escargot.
Rialto. You're right.
Yep. I have not played this yet, but Matthew's played it a couple of times. He said.
Yeah. It's cool.
It's cool. It's a nice map.
Yep.
Is it? So it's only on Quick Play right now?
Yeah, it is not in comp right now.
Gotcha.
Only on Quick Play.
It's
just not in comp.
I did read that they're moving it to comp during the season at some point.
Yeah. But they wanted people to get a feel for it prior to pushing it, just like they're doing with the heroes.
Correct.
Now, I don't think they're going to... Obviously, I think people were calling for Brigitte to come in far sooner than she did.
She's so overused right now. Oh, my gosh.
Everyone's using her name.
She's new.
True.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's true.
Speaking of her, shield bash cone angle reduced from 90 to 60. And that was her fix before, during this update. For the new for season 10 and all that kind of stuff.
Basically, you just got to aim a little better for your shield bash. The people in front of you, you want to hit. You don't want to hit someone way off the side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Needed to happen.
I played with her a little bit in Quick Play, but I also don't play Quick Play that much. So having her in rank now, it's like, at least on PlayStation 4, she's picked like every game.
Yeah.
And some people are not too bad with her, but for the most part, it's just people playing her because she's new.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there's been a couple of times you've run into
some decent ones.
Some decent ones, and it's just been a pain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the big thing is you just got to know what her weakness is and how to play against it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Genji's deflect hitbox size has been reduced.
Good.
Okay, now that one, it was reduced on PTR, and then there were problems with him using his deflect, and he was still able to get headshotted from above.
Interesting.
So they returned the height of the previous version of the reflect, but it's skinnier than it was. So you won't be shooting at an enemy next to him and getting your bullet reflected.
Good.
Which is fantastic.
Yep, that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's fine. I think if
Makes
he's
sense.
using that and he's looking at you, you pretty much shouldn't be able to touch him.
Mm-hmm.
That's the idea. But if I'm looking at his neighbor who's next to him within 2 feet, I should be able to hit his neighbor.
Unless you're like me and you play Zarya, and every time you shoot a Genji, they deflect anyways, and it does nothing.
Yeah.
And then the big one, Hanzo.
That's my man.
I'm just going to run through all these and then we can talk about it. Storm Bow, projectile speed increased from 85 to 100. Sonic Arrow cooldown decreased 20 seconds to 12 seconds. Duration decreased 10 seconds to 6 seconds. Radius decreased 10 meters to 7 meters. New abilities: lunge, press jump while in the air to leap horizontally. Storm arrows replace the existing scatter arrow. Hanzo can now rapidly fire up to 6 arrows that deal reduced damage but are always fired at full power.
Yeah.
And Matthew here mains the yellow Hanzos.
I tried to. And actually, I will say now that they've made changes with him, there's less flack for people that pick Hanzo.
Absolutely, because the biggest thing was the scatter. That's why people hated him, was scatter.
Well,
and because he shoots tree trunks.
Right, and because when a lot of people that play him only are effective with scatter and not very effective with his other things.
Yeah.
Which I like the changes. I really do. I think that the what's it called? What's the rapid fire one called?
Storm arrows.
There you go. Storm arrows. I like that. Not necessarily. I don't know if necessarily better than the scatter. It's just you get to use it differently. You really can. You can destroy a tank with that thing if you get in behind them, or if you get into where you can get.
That's the
4,
idea.
5,
If you
or
hit
6
the
of those
shot,
into
you
them.
earn it.
Exactly.
That's fine.
Exactly.
That's why people got so pissed off at
Yeah.
the scatter, because you could really not be close to them with a scatter and still pull some random kill.
You're right. But I mean, all the changes. It's really a big buff to him. It really is. The projectile speed quicker. It's noticeable immediately.
That's a big deal too. Yeah.
And it's significantly easier to aim just because the higher projectile speed, the less the drop. And it's just a lot easier. And obviously the less time from when you let go until you're getting to wherever you're trying to shoot. So it's a lot easier. And then also, other thing I didn't mention about the storm arrows is when you would have annoying tracers backlining you, or Pharah's up top, or things of that nature that are normally super difficult for Hanzo to hit, you can get a hit or two on them by firing the 6 arrows back to back to back. You're throwing a lot of projectiles in that direction. So that's really cool. But to me, the number one change, and it changes him completely, is that lunge is amazing with Hanzo. Just the amount of times that even already I've gotten out of a Diva ult, or out of a Mei ult, or you get a Genji or a Tracer back behind you, or whatever. You can, man, you have so much more mobility now with that. It's awesome. I love it. I love the Hanzo changes, and yeah, it's good. I really like everything they've done with him. It was an A+ for me.
For me, I was really happy because I play Orisa a lot, and it's nice to know that I can't get killed in one shot by Hanzo anymore. And nothing was better than the other night than me turning the corner and seeing Hanzo on the stairs and just being like, "There's nothing you can do now," and just chasing him down. discharging. I'm like, you can't.
Oh yeah, you can't
stop
just
me now.
whip out a scatter.
No.
So, that made me happy.
But that's the thing about it is he can still take down those tanks because I've gotten in beside a Rissa shield or something.
To hit the shots.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the thing.
If you get in beside a shield or behind him or whatever, you put four or five of those into them and they're going down. So that's awesome.
But that's
I like it.
Like, I don't get salty when somebody earns a kill on me.
Exactly.
Because they hit a shot.
Exactly.
I got a little salty when they just aim at the floor and shoot an arrow.
Yep.
Sometimes they kill me, sometimes it won't.
I totally get it.
It was so much bull.
I agree. He has a little more skill to play him now, and I like it.
Yes, absolutely.
A couple more things that happened. Junkrat frag launcher projectile decreased from 0.3 to 0.2. Tire movement speed decreased 13 to 12.
That's the big one.
Yeah.
His grenades. You can notice it. You just got to be a little more accurate with shots. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
The speed
Junkrat
on the
being
tire
accurate. Yeah.
is
Okay.
huge.
Yeah, it is.
Way slower.
Yep. It's true. It's true. But he is.
Developer comments for that is these changes are aimed at lowering some of the most frustrating parts about playing against Junkrat. Decreasing frag launcher's projectile size means he will have to aim a bit more carefully to land powerful direct hits, and slowing Riptire's movement speed gives his opponents slightly more time to destroy it before it detonates.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yep, it's good. Good changes.
Lucio got a wall ride, less likely to be
fun.
interrupted along single surfaces, can now go around corners without having to leave the wall.
It's pretty fun.
Jet Set Radio!
Yeah, but it's like, if you come across a Lucio that could hold a point for an hour and a half because he's wall riding, he's good.
Yeah.
But now it's just hold down the space bar and you'll do it just fine.
Yeah.
Can now land back on the same wall after leaping away, provided his leap takes him far enough away from the original jumping off point. Added minimum time that the jump key must be held down before Lucio can ride corners. Sound wave no longer consumes ammo and can now be used while reloading.
That's a big one too.
I did not realize
because that actually adds DPS to him.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know how many times I've been firing and somebody comes up next to me and I go, oh, go to boop. Reload.
Yeah. Tracer, pulse bomb max damage decreased from 400 to 300.
Thank goodness.
That's a much bigger hit than I think people fully realize.
I realize it because you've definitely had multiple times where I've been stuck, or people around me have been stuck, and it blows up, and everybody's really hurt, and no one's dead. Like, whoa.
Yeah, it's huge because I get why they did it, because she's not really a tank killer. That's not the full point of her. She can cause a lot of harassment. She can kill tanks outright, but it was too easy to one clip a Rhine and then toss a bomb and you're done. You can't do anything about that. So now she can't do that, which I like. But the big impact was on less health. So anything from like 250 under, right? She could throw it and be a little off and still get the kill.
Yeah.
Now she won't.
Right.
So that's the big thing.
For sure.
And like any kind of armor on a Mei or any kind of armor or shield on a Reaper, and they will just outright survive it, even if they're stuck.
Right. And
so that's a big deal.
Right, and I've already used that combined with Hanzo's new lunge thing. I've survived multiple with Hanzo because of that. As soon as you see the deek deek deek, just lunge and you'll lose half your health, but you're alive. So, yeah.
You're alive.
I think that's really going to impact at much higher skill levels.
Yeah, it may. It just makes sense to me that now her pulse bomb is not I'm gonna go in there, throw the pulse bomb, and then go away again. Like you need to go in there with her, get some hits on some people before you throw the pulse bomb if you want to get the kills, or do the pulse bomb and then you still have to finish them off. So it takes, again, a little more skill, I think.
So what do you think, Ron, about these possible symmetry changes, like making teleport?
Oh, I think they're pretty
ability?
interesting, and I'm really excited to mess around with them. She's supposed to hit the PTR soon, so I will be delving on that quick. It's really interesting.
I think it's
the biggest thing is stupid auto aim is gone, and I'm elated.
Yes. Yes.
The auto aim is gone. Now if we just get that off Moira, then we'll be fine.
Yep.
It kind of reminds me of Mercy's. She can res one person every 30 seconds or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
If they did a similar thing with the teleport with Symmetra, then that'd be pretty cool, I think.
I'm just really excited to see all the stupid YouTube clips that people come up with teleporting a freaking Diva Bomb or a Tire or whatever. I can't wait.
Or Hanzo.
Portal everything.
Yeah, I don't think you really need to teleport a Hanzo ult. It goes through the whole map.
Yeah, I know. Just saying that you can make
But
it
you do
come
like
from
a
different
tire
direction or something.
Yeah, you can teleport a Tire. You can teleport a Diva Bomb.
That'd be
You
cool.
can teleport all
Azaria.
kinds of stuff.
Azaria.
Yeah, I guess you could, but you wouldn't want to be far away from that. So,
Well, it kind
You'd
of
wanna be
depends.
close to the action.
Depending on where the teleporter is, if they're like trying to blow up a teleport of some sort, however it ends up working. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know. It'll be interesting.
I think she'll be real. She will be a shield killer. They're really introducing a lot of elements that really are giving tanks a hard time.
Right. I agree.
I don't know how I feel. Like I'm really happy that they're Hanzo needed to change and he can melt freaking shields now, or
Yeah.
he's a big part of melting shields.
Yeah.
Now. He can help with that instead of just be useless. Sim, if they go through with all the stuff they said, she's just going to be a shield melter. Brigitte's making a lot of fuss against tanks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like,
I think what they're going for is a more balanced team comp being necessary. You won't be really able to win with a one tank team, and 3 tanks might not be the worst idea, depending on what the other comp is.
well, I mean, we'll see how this pans out. I'm really interested to mess around with the Sim.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Well,
It's another game that keeps on giving.
yeah. I'll do a pretty good segue here. From a game that has developers and publishers behind it 100% to a game that doesn't. Go to Destiny's expansion coming out.
Destiny 2.
Destiny 2 expansion, Warmind, coming out.
Oh, yeah.
May the 8th. I love Destiny 1 and wanted to love Destiny 2. I didn't play the first expansion, and I really don't have any desire to play
You
this
didn't
one.
miss out on anything. I played it, and then I stopped playing.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Boggles my mind.
Yeah, I had this kind of conversation with our buddy Otto, and because he was saying, what do you think? Do you think this expansion makes or breaks Destiny? And I was like, well, if you look at it from the outside, you may think that, but the problem is most people already bought the season pass, which means they've already bought this expansion.
Let me.
They had Destiny 2 bought, and then they bought the season pass, and then Destiny 2 was a bomb, and that sucked. And then the first DLC was a bomb, and that sucked. But it doesn't matter because they already got the money.
True. Let me help the listeners out as well as myself, since I have Destiny 2 as well, but I stopped playing a while ago. Can you what is this expansion comprised of?
You go to Mars.
I mean, but
talk to Rasputin. Apparently, it's Rasputin. It's all Warmind.
Is there, significant game mode changes, or?
There's supposed to be a bunch of buffs and stuff. They're changing out some exotics. They're adding some new stuff with So they added, earlier in the game, they've added masterwork legendaries. And they've done that for both weapons and armor. And it doesn't really add anything. It does, but it doesn't. It's still pretty insignificant.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to add it for exotics. But the way to get it on a legendary is just you get lucky and get the weapon to drop masterwork, or you delete enough masterwork and get the materials and just make whatever weapon you want into a masterwork or armor. But the way it works with an exotic is you have to do something particular to get a catalyst, and then you have to like charge that catalyst. Think like going through all the work you did in Destiny 1 on an exotic kind of a thing.
Right.
You just have to do of something particular. And some, they were quoted saying some are going to be easier than others. Some most people get, some almost nobody will get, because they're really difficult. And some will be tied to something particular. Like you have to do this particular activity. Think, the new raid exotic, whatever that's going to be. Hopefully the catalyst is tied to completing it on hard mode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not many people do that. So few people would touch that. Or whatever, a trials weapon, competitive PvP. Hopefully there'll be an exotic tied to that and going flawless, which not many people do in the grand scheme of things. So and then they're adding, they're working on the competitive playlist that is not trials. Right now, there's no reason to play it. You could win 100 games in a row, and it doesn't matter. So now they're fixing that, and they're adding like ranks. And if you get a high enough rank, you get a weapon that is rather good. And everyone's already been like, yeah, I really want that weapon. And there've already been people crying like, why might I not get it? Well, get good.
If you get a high enough rank, when you melee somebody and they melee you and you both die, it actually will say that instead of waiting 20 seconds and then fall over.
Get good.
I don't know. I don't have any desire. I remember when Destiny 2 came out and they were like, our expansions, we're going to take you to new areas and new enemies and all that kind of stuff. And this is now the second expansion. It's like, well, we've already been to Mars and enemies aren't really new.
No. The new enemies are Frosty Hive.
Yeah.
It's Hive. They're just a little frosty.
A little frosty.
Because they're on the ice caps of Mars.
So I'm just
it's
like...
Hive. They're just cold.
Yep.
I don't know what to think of Destiny anymore. If they... I don't know.
So... And then there's they just had a recent summit, right? And a lot of people can't talk about what they said that they were planning on doing. But there's huge changes that people are calling for, but you're not going to see them until September. So
yeah, if
this expansion's going to make some improvements, but if you haven't played for a while, it's not going to bring you back.
Yeah. If they end up changing Destiny 2 for the better one day, a year from now or 2 years from now or whatever, then I'll be fine. I'll be fine coming back in and playing all the new expansions I missed and everything.
Yeah. Won't take you long.
I don't know if that's going to be the case, to be honest.
I agree with you on that. I would do the same thing.
Yeah. So we had a Twitter question here that we're going to go over as our last dank news story. Hey. This comes from @GodJester on the Twitters. Remember, you can tweet at us at PodcastLogOn and send us a question or a topic for a Battle Royale mode or anything, and we will check it out, talk about it on the show. So @GodJester says, thoughts on Campo Santo being acquired by Valve and what does that mean for them? So those of you that don't know who Campo Santo is, they're the developers that did Firewatch. And if you were at or watched, I think it was PSX where they showed this. They showed the In the Valley of the Gods trailer, which is their new game.
Looks good.
It looks good, but it was literally just like a little teaser trailer.
It was.
We really have no idea what's happening. But it seems to be the same kind of vein as Firewatch as far as like a story-driven game. Well, they've been bought by Valve, and this just adds to what Valve's been doing for the last little bit here, buying studios and developing games again and being a part of all that, which hopefully just means we're that much closer to Left 4 Dead 3. Let's go!
That's all you care about.
I would love a Left 4 Dead 3. I think this is good news. This is them going through with what they said.
I agree.
They already said that they had 8 games or so in development, and they're just going to add talented people. You know, Firewatch was pretty well received.
That was an incredible game.
And that's, you know, a relatively small studio producing a quality game. So let's bring on this company just to add, you know, instead. And now I think it's only good for the upcoming game, Valley of the Kings, because you just added Valve as your publisher. Valve is now publishing your once indie title.
Yeah.
That can probably only mean good things.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic because I like Valve, and they produced some of the best games ever, and then they just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
And so, more importantly, I think things like this, it's obvious that they're not just that they're producing games for, or wanting to produce games not just for PC but consoles and abroad.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
and what you're hoping, and what I hope, is that you acquire good studios like that. And like I said, Firewatch was incredible. That was, if you listen to our Battle Royale, that was not in my top 10, but it was very close to being. And so what you're hoping is that they're a company that is acquiring that and saying, all right, you guys are talented, you're awesome, you do your thing. What can we do to help? Other than that, you do your thing. So,
but they can also say, hey, can you pitch some ideas for this?
yeah.
You know, and if Valve itself technically or internally doesn't necessarily want to work on the games, but they still have all these IPs that are really popular and really well liked. So instead of them working on it, they could just say, hey,
true.
I bought you.
Right. I guess what
I know you guys are working on something. How about after that, work on this?
Right. I guess really what I was saying is the only thing you don't hope is you don't want them to come in there and try to change things about a company that's doing things right already anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see them pulling that. I hope not. I mean, Gabe is pretty smart and knows what he's doing. So
yeah, I agree. I don't think that would happen. I'm just we shall see.
Maybe Valve, one of these days, Valve will have their own thing at E3. Bethesda seems to be doing well.
To be honest, Andrew, we'd be pretty happy if they just re-released Left 4 Dead 2.
I'd be happy if they released anything Left 4 Dead. But everybody's like wanting Half-Lives and stuff, so I don't know. Curious to see if this E3 we get any Valve games and where they show up, if they show up on Microsoft
if they do, I
stage
think you might
PS
see that Valley of the Gods stuff.
Yeah, I think that'll be at one of the stages on E3 this week.
But there'll be a big valve right in front of it, and then it'll say,
"Yep,
Valley of the Gods."
It's gonna be cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, God Jester, on Twitter, and once again, if you got something you want us to talk about, at Podcast Log On, or just comment on Facebook or whatever, and we'll talk about it.
We will.
So that was about our dank news right there. It's about all the news that we could come up with, other than some Spider-Man PS4 Pro stuff. But
those are rumors.
They're rumors.
They're probably gonna be true.
Yeah,
I'm sure
probably.
they'll do one. Yeah, I'm sure they will do one. So we're gonna go on to the games that we care about that are coming out or came out, and there was really not anything because we're in that moment where E3 is a brewing, and so everything's silent. But there are some good games coming out this month, just maybe not this week.
Right, we're just about to say we're waiting on Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, last week we had DK. This week, I mean, whether or not you're a Destiny fan, but there's some other stuff. And then later this month, you got like State of Decay, and which, by the way, I noticed that it has 2 release dates depending on the version you bought, and I think that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
Solid roll.
Yeah.
I ended up getting, it didn't come out last week, but I ended up getting South Park Fractured But Whole on the Switch. Because I was hoping... I think
that's so funny that game is on Nintendo's console.
Oh, yeah.
It's the perfect Switch game.
It is amazing. Yeah, right? It's super funny. But
yeah, I mean, it didn't come out last week, but I did buy it last week. Donkey... I tried to write down Donkey Kong, but I guess it... fixed it for me and put Donkey Kong on my phone.
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong came out, as we talked about last week. It is now available for purchase. That's something that interests you. Destiny 2 Warmind expansion comes out the 8th.
Don't buy it, but most of you probably have already bought it because you have a season pass. But please, if you're listening to this, please do not buy the next expansion unless you are 100% sure that is what you want.
Yeah.
Don't buy it, pre-order it, or any of that. I'm not. I'll tell you that right now. Not happening until I know for sure that it is fixed. If it is not, Destiny's done for me.
And that's saying something from you.
Yeah, this is a... beta player from D1 who's got ridiculous hours on, and it just would make me sad to leave. But if it's not a game worth playing, I'm not gonna play it.
We didn't talk about this, but Fortnite also has a new season out. But the meteor is hit, and all heck's breaking loose.
And now superheroes.
All the superheroes and the dances and everything's happening. Fortnite still
orange shirt kid dance.
Yep.
Good for him. He didn't win, but he still got his own dance.
Oh, he won.
There's a lot.
Everybody's like, here's the winner. We're like, no one cares about that guy.
Here's the guy that we pick.
I'm sure you guys haven't seen it because you don't have any interest in this like I do. But in the English league, in the English soccer league, there's been multiple people that have scored goals this year that have done Fortnite dances as their celebration. And
I've heard about the soccer
hilarious.
People doing dances, and you know what? They need to stop.
Probably so, but
because their job is to score goals.
That's true. That's true.
Not. I say the same thing with American football. I say the same thing with American college football. I can't stand it. And they need to all be kicked in the balls and slapped in the face and taken off the field.
I don't mind the short. Give me like 3 seconds of a celebration of something.
No.
And then go away. I don't. But no. I say celebration. I'm not talking like a dance or whatever.
My personal favorites are just the screams. They do something good. And you got that extra energy. You just gotta let out.
Yep.
My favorite is when you're down 2 touchdowns at the end of the 4th quarter and you just sacked the 3rd string quarterback. You don't get a dance for that.
Yeah, those are funny.
Doesn't matter.
Those are funny. I agree.
All right. Well, anything else from you fellers?
We did a good bit of Overwatch talking. If any of you listen, I was going to say Twitter listeners, but really it could be any of the listeners would like to jump in and Overwatch with us. Our PSN names, for the most part, can be found. Either they're the exact same as our Twitter handles and other things, or you can find them on there. We'd love to play with you.
Yeah.
I play on both PC and PS4. These two play on PS4.
Correct.
Show. If you can't find our PSN names or find us or whatever, just tweet at the podcast or one of us, or send us a message and we'll get you hooked up.
Yup.
Hooked up. We don't play on an Xbox. I'm sorry. If you want to buy, I do have an Xbox. If you want to buy me the game, then I'll play with you.
If you want to buy me an Xbox and the game, I'll play with
You
you.
want to buy me an Xbox and the game?
Also, if you
I'm
want to
not
buy me
wasting my-
Forza,
I
that's the only game I want to play on the Xbox. So
I barely waste my time on PS4, so PC Master Race.
I went on the
And
Xbox
Switch.
store. I went on the Xbox store for the first time in a very, very long time. And it's just surprising. I haven't really been on in 2 years or seen the store, and it's just amazing how just there's nothing.
Little has
They still just promote Halo and Gears of War.
because it's all they got, and they
But-
killed
mistakes have
one
been
of
made.
them.
Mistakes have been made.
Mistakes have been made. That's putting it lightly.
Yep.
But with E3 coming up, make sure you, if you have any E3 questions, especially our big podcast, our Battle Royale E3 extravaganza that will release
that what
on
it's
May
called?
31st.
That's awesome.
I don't know. That's what I just made it. It's going to release
Sure.
on May 31st. So we have basically a month of rumors and leaks and everything to come out before we do our big podcast. So if there's something that you see or whatever, again, tweet at us at podcast log on.
If you have a
Get
prediction,
ready for that. If you have a prediction,
yeah.
and then remember we have
Microsoft
that.
is going to do nothing.
Well, they've been saving everything for this.
They've been saving all the releases of the games they've been delaying and canceling.
We do have
They
the,
uncanceled that Dragon game that everyone was
Dragon.
hoping for.
that did look. Who knows?
Halo 7.
Halo Battle Royale. But we do have that Twitter poll up from our last Battle Royale. If you haven't checked it out, if you are on our podcast services at all, like the thumbnail is not different for our podcast, but if you look at the name, you'll see either Log On Weekly or Log On Battle Royale. That's how you know. Once again, this podcast comes out every Monday. Battle Royale
Yup.
comes out every other Thursday.
Correct.
And so we don't have one this week. We don't have a Battle Royale this week, but we will be back next Monday with another Log On Weekly. So until then, goodbye.
Bye.
Till then, goodbye.